12 years in prison for forgetting some ammo in your travel bag. That's what Mr. Ryan Watson is facing when he tried to travel from Turks and Caicos Islands back to the US. And that's what we're going to talk about today, folks. Let's get into it. So about a month ago, this story broke on Fox News, and I'll put a link in the description. You can read the article. According to the Fox News article, Ryan and Valerie Watson, they were at Turks and Caicos Islands on a vacation, holiday, whatever you want to call the trip. And apparently, Ryan Watson left some ammo. This is happens to be hollow point, but I don't think it matters what type of ammo. He had a couple of rounds of ammo, from what I gathered from the article, in his travel bag. Now, TSA in the U.S. missed it. So he traveled through the U.S., Oklahoma, in an airport in Oklahoma, and according to a recent article on Fox News, they're looking into security at that airport as to why it was missed. So TSA missed it. He traveled to Turks and Caicos Islands. I don't know how long they were there. They go to return back to the U.S., and of course, security at the airport finds it. He's arrested, and now he's facing 12 years. Firearm possession, ammunition possession is all 12-year minimum sentences. Apparently, the governor and politicians are involved in the State Department is trying to negotiate his release. But his wife was released. They were both arrested. She was released, I believe, given bail. He was released with the stipulation that he post $15,000 bail and also surrender his passport. So he cannot leave the islands until the matter is resolved. So he's not currently incarcerated, according to this most recent article, but he cannot leave the island. He does not have his passport. So folks, the reason I bring this up, this is a very easy mistake to make, right? Especially now since brewing with all these concealed carry. This is just a typical backpack, right? That I use. I have a lot of different bags that I use. You go to the range, you might have a backpack that you maybe have a drink in there, or you might have your wallet in there, or some other things that you don't necessarily need when you're shooting, but they're personal items. So I know what it's like. You're at the range, and if you're at an outdoor range, and it's cold and it's rainy and you're wearing a jacket, you might put a couple rounds in your jacket pocket and you might forget them there. The whole point of this video today is to hopefully help you not be in a situation like Mr. Watson and his wife, because it's very easy to have a round in your pocket, in your jacket, and I can see the scenario unfolding where you're at the range, maybe it's a rainy day or windy day, and you're wearing a jacket. You put a couple extra rounds in your pocket, you forget about them, right? You go home, you hang that jacket up, now the weather gets nicer, right? And you don't use that jacket for a while. You're ready to go on your trip, you grab that jacket, and you go on your trip. So I can totally see that happening. Same with a bag. Now, obviously, if it's a range bag dedicated just for your guns and your ammo and your accessories, you're not going to take a range bag to the airport, right? So clearly this was like a personal carry-on gym bag, some type of bag that he probably didn't necessarily keep firearms or firearms-related items in, but somehow the couple of rounds of ammo ended up in this bag. If you're found with it in New Jersey or your state trying to get on a plane, they're going to take it. You can travel with ammo and firearms. You just have to do it according to airline policy, right? You have to check it in a separate bag. It cannot be carry-on, and you have to notify them that it's a firearm. Each airline has their own procedure, and then they tag that bag or case that has to be a firearms, TSA approved firearms case, right? It has to be lockable, and then they tag that case so they know there's a firearm in there, right? The ammunition has to be separated from the gun, and it has to be unloaded, of course. So you can travel legally with your firearms to other states where they're legal to possess. People do it all the time, right? To compete in shooting competitions, to hunt. So they do it people do it all the time. But when you travel to another country, right, or island, you have to be familiar with their laws. And clearly, to me, this does not seem like Mr. Watson meant to do this. This was a mistake. So folks, just please check your bags. If you do use a other bag other than a range bag when you go to the range, be sure to check it very carefully when you're done at the range or before you travel. whatever bag or jacket or article of clothing you're going to wear, you need to check to make sure, empty that thing out and make sure that there are no rounds in there, because you don't want what happened to Mr. Watson to happen to you. So here he is facing 12 years in prison. Hopefully the politicians can negotiate that does not happen, because it was obviously a mistake, and this has happened to other people as well. We've seen articles in the paper, in the news, about other individuals that this has happened to. So don't let that happen to you, folks. I think this is an important topic, especially if you're from New Jersey or the New Jersey area, where New Jersey, New York, and a couple of other states have benefited from the Bruen decision, and more people are getting their carry permits in New Jersey. Because they're getting their carry permits, more and more people, I hope, are at the range shooting, right? So if you're at the range shooting more, right, because you're now carrying a gun legally, you're allowed to carry a gun legally if you get your carry permit in New Jersey, you're hopefully at the range practicing more, which means more trips to the range, more chance to accidentally leave a couple of loose rounds in your bag or backpack that you don't normally take to the range, or maybe that you use to travel with. So I think this is important. We need to be very careful, especially when we're traveling, that we do not have anything that we cannot board the plane with, such as ammo or any firearms. You know, if you leave a knife or a firearm in the bag, same type of deal. If this has happened to you or someone you know, meaning that you showed up at the airport and TSA found something that you weren't supposed to have from the range, like ammo or maybe a magazine, put it in the comments if you don't mind, and just let us know what happened if you care to do that. This did happen to a friend of mine who was active duty law enforcement. He showed up at the airport in New Jersey and he had some rounds in his bag. Now they just took the rounds. He was active duty law enforcement, and it was clearly a mistake. Same type of deal as Mr. Ryan Watson. But he did apparently end up on some type of list with the TSA. So I guess they have multiple lists that they keep on people depending on things that happen at the airport. He had to clarify or do something to get himself off that list at a later date. And I guess the TSA agent told him, gave him a number to call or whatever, and said, we have to report this, but, here's what you can do to get off the list, because he was active duty law enforcement, right? So please, if you have anything that similar that happened and you want to share your experience, please do so in the comments. And if you like this video, please hit that like button and share it with as many people you think will benefit from it, especially those who may be about to travel soon in the near future. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel. And if you do, hit the notification bell so you know when we release new videos. As always, thanks for watching, take care, and stay safe.